Hi guys, in today's video we're going to be making an art journal page. So grab your coffee or your tea and meet me at the table. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to get my stamp that I previously colored from my ephemera sketchbook, and I'm picking a background that I did previously and finding some scrapbook paper to match. And I think those colors look really great, so I'm gonna go with that. And so now I'm going through and I'm sizing all my paper. I have to cut them down because I usually do these pages as 6x8s, and the the top panel is always like a 5x7, so it's like a 6x8, 5.5x7.5, and then a 5x7. And so here I'm just rounding corners of my cardstock, and I'm going to adhere this cardstock to a panel that is um, Nina Solar 110 pound cardstock. And so I rounded the corners on both. I used some tape and I'm gonna put some glue on top of that just in case I have to wiggle it a little bit. And then I'm gonna adhere my scrapbook paper, which is the 5.5x7.5 piece. And so I'm just positioning that, and then my top panel, which is actually the 5x7 panel. And I used the Distress Oxide mica stain. That is all that is on there. I like the way it looked. It was simple. I didn't add anything else. So, and I'm attaching that to my other panels. And so now I'm putting my stamp down, and I will link the video where I color that stamp if you guys are want to check it out. And I'm getting my alpha dies out. This is a set that I got on clearance from Concord and Ninth. I can't remember the name of it, but I know that it was on clearance, and I really like the font. So I'm gonna spell out sweeter. So I only have like one E, one letter of each. So I'm gonna have to make a couple cuts. So I'm just putting it down now, and I'm gonna take it to my die machine, and I'm gonna cut it out. And I'm gonna have to cut it out like twice, maybe 3 times. Yeah, I think it's probably about 3 times to get all the letters that I need. And so that's all that I'm doing now. Went over to my die station and cutting out my letters. I contemplated doing them in a different color besides white, but when I put the white up on against the pink, I thought it looked good. Well, I thought it looked really good, so I decided to forego using a color and just go with white. So I think this is probably my last run through of the die machine before I have all my letters. And just cleaning off my dies. I'm kind of out of screen. I was off camera. I apologize for that. But okay, so now I'm just aligning my letters where I think they need to go. So at one point, I thought about stamping out my quote, but I thought that the um, I decided against that, and I just decided that I would cut some strips and actually handwrite the quote instead of stamping it out. And so right here, I'm cutting my strips. They're a 1/4 inch wide, which in the end ends up being looking a little big, but I kind of needed that space to actually write the quote since I didn't type it out. And so right here, I'm writing out my quote. I made a mistake. When you make a mistake, what do? You flip it over on the other side, which is what I did. So I'm writing out my quote, and then I'm gonna just use my paper cutter and trim them up. Again, I'm off camera. Um, yeah. So I like the placement. So what I'm doing right now is I'm taking a black marker and I'm just, shading the ends, tracing around the ends to kind of make it pop a little bit. And I thought about doing that with the die cuts. So that's what I'm doing here. I did it a sample and I didn't like it, so I decided to stick with the plain white for the die cuts. And I did like the way that the black looked around the outline of the quote. And so I'm just going to adhere them with some glue, and I'm going to use a stamp block to put down to hold them, because they're so teeny, they don't have a lot of glue on them, and I just wanted to make sure that that they stuck really good. And so that's what I'm doing here. I'm just gluing down all the letters, trying to make sure everything lines up really, really good, and that everything, you know, sticks really, really good. So I won't have the issue about anything coming up. Okay. And so next I'm going to secure my ice cream cone. I really, really love this stamp. It's one of Colorado Craft Company's Big and Bold stamps. I love their Big and Bold stamps. Um, okay, so here I'm lining up my quote and I'm gluing it down. Um, yeah, I decided to keep it flat. At one point, I thought about maybe popping it up with some foam tape, but I decided against that. I decided against adding the extra dimension to the page and to just keep it flat. And I really like the way that came out. And so next, I am going to add some gems to the page. Um, I'm gonna add about 3 gems. I thought it needed a little something extra to kind of make it um, pop out a little bit more. And I think the gems actually they did that pretty well. So I'm just using some glue and gluing them down. And next, I'm going to use some glossy accent and to make my cherry shine. And just be careful when you're doing this, because I think it reactivated the alcohol ink and it started smearing. But overall, it wasn't bad. You can't really tell. And I really like the way that this came out. It turned out really, really well. And if you like what you've seen here, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.